listen to me. Thomas Brady Jr. is the love of my life and the greatest quarterback of all time.
I think Rob Gronkowski is the best player at his position in the NFL by far.
Let's go, guys!
Welcome into Studio 73, everybody. I am Laney Johnson, your host for Outside the Huddle, our weekly NFL show here at Suffolk University. I'm joined this week by Jacob Tobey. How are you doing, Jacob?
Let's get it. I'm ready to talk some NFL. It's been a while since we've been on camera together, I think. So
yeah, it has been a while.
I went away for a little while, but I'm back.
We're back.
So we're good.
Okay, so we're going to start on a bit of a somber note,
Yeah.
starting with the Patriots.
Oh,
Are you worried? Are you worried?
No, I'm really not that worried. We saw the same thing back in 2014 when the Patriots started off 2-2. They go on eventually to win the Super Bowl, and in that Week 5 game, they beat the Cincinnati Bengals 43-17. So I do expect somewhat of the same game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which will be tonight. But I'm not really worried. I believe in Tom Brady's the GOAT. We all know. Yeah, I know you love him from that open. We've seen that a lot. So not worried at all. I think the defense will take form. I think Gilmore and Butler will end up getting to where they're supposed to be.
ESPN has them ranked 7th overall.
That's a little bit crazy, but at the same time, I can understand it. Pittsburgh has the best two-way combination, I think, in the NFL with Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. So that makes sense. Maybe the Denver Broncos one doesn't make sense, but right now they're not playing like the best team in the league. Maybe they're not. So
the Patriots' glaring issue right now is obviously the defense.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you attribute this to? Is it Matt Patricia's fault? Is it Bill Belichick's fault? I personally put it on Matt Patricia. I think the scheming is off. I don't think the corners definitely are not where they need to be. Where was Stephon Gilmore? Where was Malcolm Butler? No one decided to cover Kelvin Benjamin last week.
But if you went to the game, if you went to the interviews after and listened to them, they said that the number one problem was communication. So how does that have to do with Matt Patricia? I mean, they're communicating themselves on the field.
He's the head of communication. He should be the one instilling it. I think it all starts at the top and makes its way down. If Matt Patricia isn't the guy instilling this into his players and not getting what he needs out of them, then maybe there needs to be a change at defensive coordinator.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's kind of a hot take. You're going to go hot take on the first show here?
I'm going hot take,
My
Lane.
Lord.
Hot takes only here.
He's been here for how many years, and he's won a couple Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl, or 2 Super Bowls, actually.
But if you think about the Super Bowls, they're luck plays that they've won on. If Malcolm Butler doesn't make that interception, and then if you don't have Tom Brady to drive it downfield to win those, I mean, I don't know. I think it needs to be at least addressed, if not.
I mean, this is my thing. They've been together since OTAs, which is in the spring, correct?
Right.
So the whole team's been together since then. The communication is the issue. I don't think the scheme's that much of an issue. I mean, how much have they had to change their defensive scheme from last year to this year? They lost Logan Ryan at cornerback, but they gained Stephon Gilmore. So what's the big difference?
Yeah, I think they really have some identity issues on defense for sure. I think Dante Hightower needs to step up. I think
he's been hurt, though. That's the thing.
Devin McCourty needs to step up. Right, he's been hurt. He's back last week. He had a great sack last week.
McCourty's a good point. He needs to step up big time.
He needs to step up. I think they need to have that one guy to really set the tone.
Yeah, and pass rushing the passer, that hasn't been there. So
the front seven really needs some work. So going on the other side of that game, Cam Newton's back.
Cam Newton's back. I would slow down on that.
Oh, really?
Really
he looked like a superstar last week. As we said, Super Cam is back. That's what we have here. I knew that this was going to be his breakout game when he came out in those cleats. Oh, did you see them?
I did. I'd like to get
Look
there. We
at
go.
those.
There we go.
Look at those. The Tims.
They look like work boots. They basically are work boots, right?
Yeah, he's not messing around with those.
Cam Newton. I mean, stylish guy for sure. I'd still take Russell Westbrook's style in the NBA over Cam Newton's. I think he's still at the top of all professional athletes in that. But I don't know if Cam Newton's truly back as the 2015 MVP.
The first 3 games that I watched him in, he didn't have that Super Cam mentality. He wasn't doing the Superman chest thing. He didn't have that jovial smile that he has all the time.
When's the last time he dabbed?
I don't know. Dab's kind of dead.
I know, all right? I mean, bring the dab back.
But this week he rushed for. Stop. This week he rushed for a touchdown. He put up the black power fist. Excuse me. And I don't know. He just looked like himself again. And then post-game press conference, he had some style going on.
He did.
Look at that, those glasses.
Those are Ozzy Osbourne glasses?
I don't know, he rocks those.
Yeah, it's an interesting outfit for sure. The fedora, I always like when guys wear fedoras, so that's my thing. I would never wear a fedora. I look terrible in them.
I think you could rock it.
Wow, I'm going to try that now because you said that. But at the same time, Cam Newton's style, yes, he's at the top. His play style, though, was pretty good in last week's game. Caught the Patriots off guard for sure.
For sure.
But it's 1 game out of 4 so far. and the Carolina Panthers haven't lived up to expectations since being in the Super Bowl in 2015.
Right. They had a little slump there.
Yeah.
And I think we would be remiss if we did not mention Cam Newton's little tiff yesterday in his press conference. I mean, I thought it was an ignorant comment. I thought it was a stupid comment to make. For anyone who missed it, he said a female reporter asked him a question and was asking him just about routes, something very basic, and he said, haha, I think it's funny to hear a female talking about routes.
Now, how does that, you're a female in this business, so how does that say with you?
What's funny about that?
I know.
Like, it's literally her job to do this. So
yeah, it's not like she doesn't understand football. She got hired to do this for a living, so I mean, she understands the game of football.
Right.
After Cam Newton lost the Super Bowl, his comments, he was saying nothing after this. I understand that you lost the Super Bowl and it's tough to come back from that and talk to the media right after, but
it's your job.
Yeah.
It's literally in your job description to do so.
He was being a jerk, and he's been a jerk ever since that. I just don't like the way he carries himself. He seems childish. I think I've heard people talk about when he was coming up for the NFL draft how being immature was a problem for him during college. So he just never sits with me well. I don't like him as a person. I definitely don't like what he said. I have a much respect for females in this business. So to me, that was just uncalled for, and he's got to play better for sure. He has the talent to be a top 2 quarterback in the league. He just hasn't played up to it, and that's because he's immature.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, so the Bills, everyone expected,
Bills Mafia.
The Bills are first in the AFC East.
3-1.
They're playing great.
Are you kidding me?
Tyrod Taylor. I've been a fan of Tyrod Taylor since he became the starter on the Bills. I think T-Mobile, I love it. I love a mobile quarterback. I think he's great. I think he's a good leader. I don't know why they were really questioning if he was going to be the starter on this team. And their defense, it looks unstoppable even with the Stephon Gilmore loss.
Say the Bills got a little lucky. He didn't miss any time with that concussion during the regular season. He was missing the preseason, of course, but his QB rating, 107 or 100.7 is his average for the season, and he's only thrown 1 interception. So through the first 4 games, fine. The Bills have the advantage over the Patriots in record. Do not think that will stand when the season comes to an end. We'll see what happens with that. But Bills Mafia for right now, have your fun. I do have to say though, give mad respect to their fans. They have a stadium that
fans.
they bring the energy.
They do.
They definitely bring the energy.
Yeah. Another defense, obviously the Bills defense is looking great. Another defense that is looking awesome is the Vikings. Their defense is what's carrying them. But
it's been the past 2 years.
Yeah, they're great, but unfortunately, they've really suffered some injuries on offense, and it's no different this season. They lost Dalvin Cook for the season. I don't know when Teddy Bridgewater is going to be back. Does anyone know where Sam Bradford's up to, what the outlook is for him? So Case Keenum is what's going to be there. They still have some weapons.
I guess so. Stephon Diggs. We know.
Awesome. They finally have a receiver.
Superstar.
They finally have a receiver.
Superstar, right? Kyle Rudolph, very, very good tight end. Not maybe second tier in the league, I would say.
Yeah, I would say right behind Travis Kelce, right behind Gronk.
So there's some good weapons. Jerick McKinnon in the running back spot coming up for Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook was just amazing through the first 4 games. He rushed over 100 yards a couple times. So to me, they're having some issues on the offensive side. I don't know how much I trust Case Keenum just because he's been a journeyman throughout his career.
He's a journeyman, but I don't know. He's an ultimate game manager. He doesn't really.
Is he better than Alex Smith?
Yes.
All right. Well, then that's.
I don't know if he is. I might have rushed to a judgment on that. I think he's not better, but I don't know. I think they're kind of similar.
I guess. I don't know. But regardless, they're journeymen. They can manage the game well enough to put your defense in a position to succeed. They have some offensive weapons. It does suck that Dalvin Cook went down, though, because he was fun to watch. For sure.
He was super fun to watch. I had him kind of slotted as that Rookie of the Year.
Well, I don't think so anymore.
I don't think so anymore.
Headed to IR, so yeah.
Sticking in this division, the game from last Thursday, Bears-Green Bay, there was this awful hit on Devontae Adams by Danny Trevathan. We're going to roll the tape here and see. Oh, it did not look good.
No, I
we
saw
see it right here. He throws it, and he just gets clocked coming up. Oh,
See, that's the thing. He got clocked like 3 times on that, and the third one was obviously the worst.
Yeah, and the third one was the worst. They did Trevathan. You see right here, you see his mouth guard come out, and then people were just calling, oh, it looks so bad. You see the
like
spit,
the sweat.
You see the sweat, you see it all coming out.
No.
There were his teammates were calling the staff over right away.
Yeah.
He was taking a nap on the field, and it did not look good.
No, and I loved how, first of all, I didn't love how Trevathan celebrated it after.
Right.
I mean, you have to realize, and then he was trying to contest to the referee that it shouldn't be a flag.
Fair, that's his job to do that.
To contest the referee?
Yeah, you're trying to get the calls where you can, and so.
But you got to realize when you're going too far,
I mean,
and what you friggin' just did. I mean, that was unbelievable.
If we're being honest, that's how you're taught to tackle. I mean, not anymore, but like when these kids were coming up, when he was a kid in Pee Wee football, he was probably taught to like put your head right into some guy's chest.
I guess so, but today's a new game.
Right.
People are bigger, stronger, roids. Sorry, roids. But no, but seriously, I mean, he should be suspended more than 2 games. I mean, if he doesn't, I guess he really doesn't have a history. Well, now the history's going to start right now.
Yeah.
But so say Vontaze Burfict did that, he would be suspended a gross amount of games. I think.
Yeah, but he's a consistently dirty player.
Exactly.
I do think it was a dirty hit, and I'm not sure there was malice behind it. But I mean, I think the suspension definitely should stand. He is. I think he is contesting it.
Yeah, so he can still play unless it's upheld or whatever. But I do respect Aaron Rodgers getting right up in his face, defending his teammate, because I mean he's a
ultimate leader.
That's what you have to do as a teammate and the captain of the team. You have to go in there, defend your guy. That was just nasty. I didn't like to watch it. Seeing it right there didn't sit well.
Yeah, it didn't sit well with me either. I guess moving on to something a little bit of a lighter note, we have the punter for the Raiders, Marquette
This is your
King.
favorite, Laney?
He is so cool.
Every time we talk NFL, his name comes up.
Because he's so cool. He's great on social media.
Yeah.
If you see some of his tweets, he's so funny, and he's not afraid to go after the media. He's not afraid to go after anyone.
No, and I guess kicking was not really a thing. Like, it was a thing, obviously, but people didn't really
I don't know. I think with the
people
emergence of social media, if anyone takes advantage of it, like,
yeah,
you can really market yourself, and it's cool.
Your notes said kickers are now cool, so King is definitely the coolest kicker out there for sure.
Yeah, he's taking shots at the White House, at Donald Trump.
I mean, who isn't these days? But
he says, "Hey, real Donald Trump, you still mad from that L against NFL in those USFL days?" Like, that's so funny.
Yeah, and it's like in the past where like no one would really remember it that much.
Yeah, and it's in a time where Donald Trump is obviously very critical of Donald Trump, a lot of people, and he's speaking his mind. It's great.
I don't think Trump ever responded though, right?
No, I don't think the punter for the Raiders is
hey,
really
he's a
on his
superstar
radar.
now.
Yeah,
he does everything.
He's
punts
dunking
well.
on Darren Ravel.
I mean, look at this.
He's saying, "Hell yeah, what's the problem with people buying my jersey?" You know, Darren Ravel is surprised by it, and it's cool. It's funny.
It's a punter, but hey, he's the coolest guy out there. He's also one of the best punters in the league by far. So like regardless of what he's doing on social media.
The flair he's adding is awesome. He's also hanging out with Guy Fieri. One of my favorite people of all time. I was actually a girl Fieri for Halloween.
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was a thing, girl Fieri.
I made it up.
Okay.
That was
cool. Yeah, no, that's for sure. He's getting all the celebrity, people coming up to him and talking to him. Punters, yes, they get made fun of, but he's starting a trend of, hey, I'm an NFL player. I get paid big bucks to punt the ball and have fun on social media. Good for him.
All right, well, that's where we're going to wrap it up here. For Jacob Tobey, I'm Laney Johnson. We'll see you next week with a little more NFL talk here on Outside the Huddle.